be a short game, and I gotta get home for lunch. Hey, is that your sister out there in left field? Naked? She's naked. Shut up, Porter! Hey, I'm just trying to have a little friendly conversation. Come on. You think she'd go out with me?
What's going on, everybody? Listening to the Baseball Goombas. Today is August 11th, 2018. This is our 18th podcast episode here. John Goomba with Chris Goomba.
Chris Goomba, what's happening, everybody?
Some great lines of Ham Porter right there.
Play ball! Can't go wrong with Porter Ham.
Every line he says in that movie is quotable. Great movie. But we're gonna throw you guys a little change piece today. We're gonna do a
Splitter in the dirt.
Splitter in the dirt. Change piece with a little sink. We're gonna do a
Ching's Ming Wang, little sinker.
We're gonna do a little AL MVP race.
Just because it is so fascinating and it's a hot topic going on right now.
There's so many contenders in the
so
AL. Yeah.
many contenders in the American League right now. Ball players just playing some baseball, and it's quite fun to dive into it and get into
who really deserves it.
It's not so obvious as people like this. Mike Trout, obvious. Mookie Betts, obvious. I don't. They're having tremendous seasons, but for myself, I don't think it's that cut and dry. I don't think it's that obvious. I really don't.
When going through all the players, I don't think it is as well either.
It's not one on top of the other that is light years ahead of the other guy. Again, everybody thinks obvious Mike Trout and Mookie Betts. Mike Trout just was put on the DL yesterday, so that's going to hurt his chin with the wrist.
He jammed his wrist starting the third base a little while back.
This whole week's been a wash.
First, so he's been sitting out, but now they just decided to put him on the DL.
It's obviously going to hurt his chances, but the numbers don't lie. He's having a terrific season, and everybody says he's the best player in baseball. I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing with that whatsoever.
First off, I just want to say about Mike Trout, if you compare him to Mickey Mantle, like their first 6 years. We watched Mickey Mantle during his first 6 years because I was looking through it, and Trout's first 6 years he had 306. They're both ages 19 to 24 here. Trout at 306, Mantle at 308. On base was 405, Mantle's was 412. 168 home runs for Trout, 173 for Mantle. They're literally the same guy.
Yeah,
that's the same exact thing. We're literally watching Mickey Mantle. So all these young guys who never got to see Mantle play, you just did. It's Mike Trout.
I mean, again, there's no denying that he's the best ball player in the game right now. I'm not disagreeing with that whatsoever. People want to say Mookie Betts.
So consistent too,
but he's just a consistent guy, like you just said. And the multifaceted skill set is it's unbelievable, really.
He's a 2-time MVP, but it feels like it should be more than that.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you think about it, if he didn't have this wrist issue, that's going to sideline him for, hopefully not too long, maybe next week, and that's it. He'll come back maybe at week's end. He was, or maybe still is, on his way towards his best season to date, if you can believe that. Yeah. If y'all can believe that. And he already won MVP twice.
And he came in second 3 times. 12, 13, and 15. He came in second. 12, he was Rookie of the Year. He almost won his rookie season.
Right now, he's got 115 hits, batting .309. He's got 30 home runs, 60 RBIs, 82 runs, 21 stolen bags. Yep. I mean, it's what he does on a day-to-day basis.
He does 5 tools. He does everything.
It's amazing and awesome to watch, and it's very consistent. It's when people say, "Well, you forgot about Mookie Betts." I'm not. I love Mookie. I think he's a fantastic player. He's a high energy guy. He's a likable guy, just like Trout is. But Trout's been doing it longer. Yeah. And I'm sure Mookie's gonna have his years year after year. And this one is just he's having an all-star MVP season.
In 2016, when Trout won his second, Betts came in second that year, and I kind of forgot that he actually had such a great year. He is a great player. That year he had 318 with 30 home runs and 113 ribs. He was kind of like, I mean, we'll get into him later, but he was kind of like the Jose Ramirez of that year. He's just kind of like a forgotten man because everybody went towards Trout. But
the whole like the MVP, when you think of MVP, you just think of, for me, you just think of the best player in the American League. Whether he's got 45 home runs, 150 RBIs, or whether he's got Jose Altuve, I'm just saying 17 home runs, 18 home runs, 84 RBIs.
But he gets 200 hits.
Right. It's just the best player in the American League, and sometimes I really don't want to hear about the team.
Yeah, I agree. It's not a team award. It's an individual.
It's an individual award, and again, I'm not disagreeing with the whole Angels Mike Trout thing. I mean, they've been wasting his season, his MVP caliber seasons year after year.
Yeah.
The Angels have not been so hot the last couple of years, but if you take Mike Trout off the Angels, they're still the Angels. They're still middle of the pack, third, fourth place team. Even with Trout, they just when Trout's having when he's having the same season he does every year, it's the talent around him.
Yeah.
This year they're not so hot. When he won the MVP, they were the best team in baseball. And now you look at Mookie Betts and the Red Sox. The Red Sox are far and away the best team in
83 and
baseball.
35.
So if you take off Mookie Betts off the Red Sox, they got so many good players. Is the team gonna dramatically fall?
They're gonna crumble? No,
I don't think so.
No.
Obviously, there's gonna have an effect on the lineup, But again, if you take Betts off the team, I don't think they're gonna. Again, I don't think they're gonna disintegrate. So that's where the value comes in.
Yeah.
But Betts, again, he's having a fantastic year. He's batting 352. Well, they have a doubleheader today, so the stats we're gonna rattle off today going into today's games.
Yeah.
So that's obviously gonna change. I mean, 352 any way you look at it it's
352.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
27 home runs, 62 RBIs, 98 runs, 134 hits already.
His OPS is over 1100,
and he's got over 20 stolen bases. So he's
another guy.
He's having a fantastic season. He's having a
only 60 Ks too, which is nice. But to put on top of just the numbers, he had a 3 home run game this year against the Angels, and he's also just recently, as Thursday, hit for the cycle.
Yeah.
So he's got 2,
which is always a nice
feats within the same year. And just to talk about, how rare cycles are, you look at perfect games. There's been a total of 21 perfect games. The last one we saw was in 2012. No hitters, and there's been 299 in cycles. There's been 320. So it's almost as rare as a no hitter. It's literally it's a hitter's no hitter.
Everybody gets up for the perfect game. I was at that perfect game. I was at that game.
Yeah,
I was at the no hitter. I saw Mookie Betts hit a cycle.
Save your ticket stuff. It's from the no hitter.
It's important. It's
just as rare as a no hitter.
It's important baseball stuff.
It is.
And not to go off a tangent, but I am. Not to name names or anything, but we were floating through Twitter the other day, and there was a tweet I saw that said, "Why are we celebrating a cycle in a loss?" That just irks the hell out of me. I'm sorry, it really does, because the whole thing nowadays is this whole exit velo, and everybody hoots and hollers and jumps up and down over Giancarlo Stanton's single the other night in the first inning. In a scoreless game, second batter in, because it was like the hardest hit single that's ever been recorded. It was 120.3 mile per hour single.
Wow.
Single, and the whole world went on fire because of a single in the top of the first inning in a nothing game. A single, but. We can't talk about somebody hitting for a cycle because Boston lost the game.
For a team that's 83 and 35, it's just another achievement on the season.
Yeah, look, somebody hit.
They don't need that win.
Somebody hit a double in the top of the 6th inning with leading off the 6th inning in a 1-0 game, and the exit velo was 119. Jot that down. That's oh my gosh.
Wow.
Like, oh my god. But that's everybody can talk about that. I'm sorry, but that's just something that bothers me.
Really tired
And
of it.
I'm getting it's a cycle. It's a cool thing. It's a feat. It happened. It was the first cycle of Mookie Betts' career. It was the first cycle of the 2018 Major League Baseball season. So it's something cool. Mm-hmm. And again, all those people that were at that game, they're gonna say, "Hey, we saw Mookie Betts hit for the cycle."
Yeah.
And what is the domino effect? Oh, all the fans and their buddies. Oh, that's pretty cool, man. Yeah, that's awesome. Cool. Yeah, so stop with that. Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool thing, and let's keep it at that. Yeah. On another note, so back to Mookie Betts and the Boston Red Sox being just far and away demolishing team after team this season. There's no other way to describe Mookie Betts' season except that he's been saucing the baseball all year long. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's guaranteed pretty much a guarantee that he's gonna have 200 hits. Yeah. I mean, guaranteed 200 hits. However, he has missed time with injury at the end of May till mid-June. I think it was June 10th or 11th, I believe it was. So 20 games overall, I believe. And the Sox have gone 12-8 without him. So that's what I'm saying again, the value. Is the team going to fully disintegrate without Betts? No, there's a collection of good hitters on the team. We'll get into him in a second. We got JD Martinez, who's bashing his way to an MVP season. Yeah. You got Bogarts, Betts, and you got all these guys that are Steve Pearce being Babe Ruth all of a sudden.
That still cracks
Of course, that's gonna happen.
Of course, Yankee killer.
But you got it's amazing. You got all these guys that are cruising with Boston. Everything is clicking, so they're the best team in ball. And again, with the value thing. Mm-hmm.
But JD, the one-time Astros bust. Completely turned his career around with the Tigers, and now he's absolutely destroying the baseball to a potential triple crown season. He's first in the AL in home runs with 35. He already cracked 100 RBIs. He's got
last night.
He got 101 RBIs. It's August 11th.
That's insanity.
100. Was his Manny Ramirez?
You talk about JD. We're talking about JD Martinez. So again, I'm going to say it again. Everybody is all obvious. The obvious choice is Mookie Betts. Obvious choice, Mike Trout.
He's got 40 more RBIs than them.
And we're going to talk about
40.
him. We're going to talk about him in a second as well. Jose Ramirez is having an MVP season. Yeah. But I want to know why, and I'm sure not everybody's thinking this.
The three names I keep hearing are Trout, Betts, and Ramirez.
Right.
That's all I keep hearing.
And that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Why? To me, if you want to talk about the obvious MVP candidate right now, in my eyes, is JD Martinez.
I don't know how it's not.
I look at his numbers. You just rattle them off.
I didn't even say his average. 332. He's second. He's only behind Betts. So, I mean, he creeps up 10 points. Betts dips below 350. I don't know if he can keep that up. 350 is pretty crazy. You're looking at a potential triple crown. It's Miguel Cabrera. All of a sudden, JD Martinez is Miguel Cabrera. He's Frank Robinson.
Again, it's pretty obvious. You look. People want to say Betts, and again, I'm not discrediting.
Because he's likable.
I'm not discrediting that Mookie Betts season.
It's a great year.
Yes,
I'd take him in a heartbeat.
Of course, but. Why is it? I asked one question. Why is it obvious? It's because he's batting 352. Yeah, it's the obvious. Yeah. What if Betts was batting, say, his average, like you said before? What if his average dips to say 320? Yeah. JD Martinez sticks around 330. Now is this so obvious between Betts and Martinez? No. So the average, obviously, 350 is terrific, but. I don't think Mookie Betts should be the obvious, just because he's a likable guy, the obvious candidate right now for MVP. For me, it's JD Martinez. I mean, the most valuable player. Yeah, value, sure.
He's going to have 150 RBIs.
Is the best, and 50 home runs probably. Yeah. And if he sticks that up sticks it up for 320, 330. Yeah. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, this is incredible.
That's the best player in the American League. It's JD Martinez.
Hands down.
Ramirez is another name. Jose Ramirez, Cleveland Indians second baseman.
We were talking about him earlier this week, and we were saying how he was such a forgotten man that they're literally talking about him now because he was such a forgotten man. Because nobody was talking about him. Now everybody's talking about him because nobody was.
Oh yeah, I mean,
if that makes any sense.
you look at his numbers. The only thing that's kind of his batting average is again it's 296. That's crap. No, obviously not.
You know what kind of blew my mind about Ramirez's numbers is that he's got 27 stolen bases. He's leading the American League in stolen bases at 27, and he looks like he's built like Juan Uribe.
Yeah.
I don't know how he's stealing. He doesn't look like a guy that really steals. Maybe that's why he's doing it. But he doesn't look like a guy that could swipe a lot of bags.
Ramirez only has two less home runs than JD Martinez.
Yeah.
Martinez got 35. Ramirez got 33 home runs.
Averages is what's killing.
But again, that's not a bit. 296. I sign up for that any day of the week. 296.
But 30 points is a big swing.
But again, if you want to talk about average, and people don't want to look at average, look at the 2014 MVP. That was Mike Trout's MVP award year.
Uh-huh.
His batting average that season was 287.
Wow.
So, yes, it was 2014, 4 years ago. So times have changed. But I don't want to hear anything about batting average either.
Yeah.
Because 287, if his name was not Mike Trout, if name value, if I read you these stats, so 2014, okay, again, we all know it's Mike Trout, but pretend like y'all didn't know it was Mike Trout. 2014 MVP, 36 home runs, 111 RBIs, 115 runs, 173 hits, and a 287 batting average.
Sounds like a good year.
Sounds like a good year.
Yeah.
Is it an MVP season?
Sounds like a good year.
Batting average 280 because your batting average is below what the standard should be. So I don't want to hear nothing about batting average either. So Jose Ramirez is 296, and again, it's mid-August. I'm sure it's going to fluctuate. And he's been one hell of a ball player this season.
He has. Last couple of years. The other thing with Ramirez is nobody was really expecting this kind of career out of Jose Ramirez.
No, not at all. Not.
In 2014, in 68 games, he had 262 with he had 2 home runs in 68 games. In 15, he played 97 games. He had 219 in almost 100 games and had 6 home runs and 27 RBIs. He wasn't doing anything. Then, boom, he hit 312 in 2016. And then 17 last year, we all know, 318, 29 home runs, 56 doubles. He just came out of nowhere. Everybody was expecting this 219 kind of thing from Jose Ramirez. Nobody saw
That's amazing.
Kind of numbers coming.
Late bloomer.
Yeah. 56 doubles.
That's crazy.
God.
But yeah, no.
They're lucky Machado got traded. Otherwise, he'd be in this equation too.
Right. Yeah. And there's another guy. And you look at Ramirez's. Everybody. You talk about the forgotten man. His teammate and the guy he plays next to, Francisco Lindor.
Yeah.
And you could throw him in the conversation too. He might be on the outskirts, but he's still in the conversation.
He's still a top 10 guy.
When you think of the Indians, obviously you think of Francisco Lindor, but now it's kind of a dynamic duo between these two young studs, and they're two big bats in the Indian lineup, and they're gonna propel. Those two are propelling them towards another AL Central Division crown and another division series.
Both of these
Cleveland.
guys, they're leading leagues in key categories, so you just can't overlook it. Ramirez, like I said before, with his stolen bases, but Lindor's already has 99 runs. He leads the league, and he's got 39 doubles already. Yeah. He leads the league in both of those, and he's still putting up very respectable 298 with 29 homers, 74 ribs. That 298 is just what really takes you back because of all these higher averages between Trout 309, Betts 352, and the JD 332. It's really just the average that's hurting these two guys. Otherwise, the numbers are right up there with the rest of them.
Yeah, Ramirez and Lindor are basically having like the same exact season.
They are.
They really are. It's Ramirez has a bunch of stolen bases, extra stolen bases, but Lindor's only got 19 himself.
Yeah.
The average Ramirez is 296 against Lindor's 298. It's just, it's kind of the same exact season, and overall, this entire season, it's basically between those two guys. Yep. It's pretty much like anything you can do, I can do better.
Yeah.
Lindor hits a homer, Ramirez is going to hit a homer, and vice versa. Ramirez going to steal a base. You know what? I'm going to steal a base, or I'll steal 2. So now you got to, it's the whole season. It's been like that for those two guys and for the Indians.
I wouldn't want to face either of them.
Last year Lindor finished 5th,
and Ramirez
was third. Yeah. So they're going to be in the top 5.
They can be right in that mix
unquestionably again.
Yeah.
But what you look, and also. When I talk about JD Martinez and having and again, I know for me the whole MVP is the best player. And whether you're betting 280, if you're betting to like Trout was 287, but you have the JD Martinez's numbers, I'm fine with that. I mean, it's just you were the best player all season long. And you look at 2015. I went back. 2015 MVP was Josh Donaldson,
Great year.
who is doing what JD Martinez is doing right now, except for the batting average. Donaldson won the MVP hitting 297. 123 RBIs, 41 home runs, 184 hits. Jays were the best offense in baseball that year, and they were AL East champs. So, are you going to look, when it's all said and done, yes, again, the Trout wrist is going to come back and haunt him a little bit, because he's going to miss, essentially, kind of like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Which doesn't sound like a lot, but for MVP voting...
Way the race is right now, it's going to hurt
I'm going to say it's going to weigh him down a little bit, but again, he could come back and go 3 for 4 every game from here on out, which is not out of the question.
No.
But Boston, the 2015 MVP season and 2014 MVP season, LA, the Angels have the best record in baseball, and the Jays had the best offense in baseball, and they won the AL East. So Boston is having this miraculous season where they're just bludgeoning everybody they play.
Yeah.
They're far and away the best team. So that, whether people don't want to admit it or not, that's gonna weigh on the vote. I do. And it's gonna and it's gonna sway my thinking too. So I'm not. The Angels are 10 games under, I think, or somewhere along that. I'm not. Don't quote me on that. I'm not essentially
slightly
sure.
under 500. Yeah.
But that's for me. Just because Mike Trout is the best player in baseball, I'm not gonna always lean towards Mike Trout.
No.
And yeah, he's having a heck of a season, like we said. But I'm not always going to lean towards Mike Trout just because he's Mike Trout and the best player in baseball. No,
It's about the season.
It's about the whole season, and Boston obviously is better than the Angels, and I'm gonna lean more towards Martinez and Betts.
Yeah, obviously.
If you want to have a little fun and do a little fringe contenders about the MVP race,
Yeah. I'll talk about your boy.
My boy. See, my thing is, and I'm not just saying this because Chris Goomba is a Yankee fan.
There we go.
Nah.
He is reigning. He is the reigning MVP, but of the National League.
A little bit of fun, okay? A little bit of fun here. This is going to make you think a little bit. First things first.
Because you're average.
So remember all those boos and the screams about how the Yankees didn't need him, how it was a bust, how it was a bad signing, and he can't make it in New York. Well, all that is long kicked to the curb. Long gone. So my guy is here, Mr. Giancarlo Stanton. Simple question, just a simple question. What if, and he has been hot, he's been red hot, okay? What if he continues this hot streak, goes on a home run barrage binge like we've all been waiting for?
He's been doing it. He hit one today. He was just last couple of games. He just hits one every night.
So this is the first time all season where it's kind of like come in bunches where we're just waiting to see.
Feels like he just runs into him every game.
And he's capable of doing that multiple times. So what if he continues on this streak, and he's a part of the huge reason why the Yankees, if they play well, Boston loses a few games, and all of a sudden the AL East becomes a little more interesting than right now. And what if he is a big part of the reason? Why can't his name be thrown into the ring?
You need a lot of things.
Why?
You need a lot of things to go right.
I understand that.
For Stanton to even be considered. Because what I see with Stanton...
So he can't be considered right now?
No.
Right now.
No.
Top 6.
I feel like he'd be the back end of like 9-10. But this year he's hitting 279, 29 homers and 75 ribs.
Right. So
and
what I'm saying is, if that average creeps up a tad into the 280s, you got to start thinking. And I'm just saying, what if all of a sudden you look up, I don't know, September? I'm throwing a date. It's just September 20th. Let's just say September 20th, and the Yankees are 4 out. 4 out. What
I keep looking at is his average is 50 points below JD Martinez.
I understand
right
that.
6 home runs behind JD, which isn't a lot. 6 isn't a lot.
Not at all.
I can catch up to that. But he's also 25 RBIs behind JD.
Okay.
So I just see that he has a lot of ground to catch up because I feel like they're similar type players, and that's his competition. He's got to beat out JD to win the
unquestioned.
So that's I feel like that's just a lot of ground to cover. What Stanton has that can benefit him is that Betts and JD are on the same team, and votes kind of, they kind of hurt players that are on the same team. It could hurt Betts and JD, and it could hurt Lindor and Ramirez. And we saw it really clear in the 2015 Cy Young race when Jake Arrieta won. Jake Arrieta, nothing against him, he had a great year. He was 22-6 with a 1.77 ERA. I did not remember it was that good.
That's insane.
I did not remember it that good.
That's DeGrom minus the wins.
Yeah, but he had 236 Ks, 48 walks, and a .865 whip. The person who came in second and third were teammates. You had Greinke, who was 19-3 with a 1.66 ERA, 200 Ks, 40 walks, and an .844 whip. And then the Kershaw, I'll just say it real quick, 16-7 with a 2.13. So he had his typical Kershaw year, 301 Ks. 300 Ks is unbelievable. 42 walks and an .881 whip. Zach Greinke led the National League in win-loss percentage, ERA, and whip. Jake Arrieta, the only thing he led the National League in was the 22 wins. So I felt like this was Greinke's year to win. I mean, he had the 200 Ks. He had a slightly better ERA, better win-loss percentage, better whip, less walks. I don't understand why this isn't Greinke's. It was clearly just because Kershaw was there and Jake Arrieta climbed out on top, even though he only led in wins. So that's the only thing.
Teammates gonna.
It hurts you when you're on the same team. That's the only thing.
Let
me just also say, by the way, the Mets steamrolled these three guys on the way to the National League pennant. Okay, they faced. Look at these guys. Look at these guys. Look at those numbers. And they just plowed right through, and then they lost to the Royals. But they went right through them.
Yeah, good.
That's impressive stuff
Good
to
for
beat
the
those
Mets.
guys. Yeah.
Great for the Mets. Great.
He had to face Greinke and Kershaw 4 times.
But the issue is not the Mets. The issue is Giancarlo. The issue is Giancarlo Stanton.
But
why can't his name be thrown into the ring?
If he catches some ground and the voting hurts the Betts Martinez, then yeah.
Fair.
Then, yeah.
Fair. But I just think it makes you a long shot. It could be sure, but it makes you think a little bit. It does. Hit him with another one, John Goomba. Hit him with another one.
What do you want to talk about?
Altuve.
Our last position player.
Well, I got one.
Oh yeah, go ahead. You want to talk about the other guy?
Well, no, let's talk about Altuve again. Okay. This is just we're having some fun with these names.
You got to talk about the reigning guy.
He won the MVP last year. He had a great season last year, and he's been hurt. There's no getting around that, so it's gonna hurt him again. But again, if he comes back, hopefully, the reports maybe next week or a week after that. Is what I saw. And if he does come back and he tears the cover off the ball and the Astros are winning every day, everybody loves Altuve. He's another likable guy. Why not? I just think he's just too far behind the pack.
Too far behind the pack.
That's a testament to all the ball players this year that are contending. It's just a testament to the great seasons that everybody is the competition. It's just so strong right now that Altuve is probably going to end up having a great MVP-like
Altuve
season.
Year. Yeah, he's doing it right now.
Right now, he's got 134 hits already, and he's been out for a while.
Yeah.
329, 9 home runs, 46 RBI. He's not really a power guy, but he won it last year. 23 or 24 home runs, 24, I believe.
24.
So if he comes back strong and he's crushing the ball every day, why not his name? So that's another name.
I think Altuve would need to. He's had four straight years cracking.
Way too behind.
He's got 4 straight years cracking 200 hits. I feel like Altuve has to crack 200 hits to be even considered.
Yeah,
because only 9 home runs and 46 RBIs. He's just too far behind everything else.
It's too strong.
He's not really known as a power guy, RBI guy. He just kind of does everything well. And the 200 hits and the 346 average last year is really what put him over the top for the 32 stolen bases. He did everything, contributed everywhere. But I think he's just too far behind especially with 9 home runs when you got JD with 35 already.
It's
101
talking
games.
about a long shot.
I mean, he's less than half.
Got to catch him, and another long shot. But I just want to I just want to throw his name out there.
Chris is here, guys.
I know it's a pipe dream, and I know this is pretty crazy. But in the event there's a miracle, another guy worth considering. Obviously, he was having a great year before he got hurt. Was Mr. Aaron Judge?
He'll have his time.
Face of the Yankees.
He'll have his time.
He's not going to pick up a bat for weeks now. So he's for me, honestly, I don't believe if the division is way out of reach, which it kind of already is. But if it's like 14 games, 15 games, for me, I don't believe there's a rush to bring him back if he's not really 100% or even 95%. Unless the wild card gets a little dicey and here come the Mariners, here come the A's, and the Yankees need Judge, then I would throw him back into the ring. But again, if he does come back strong, just like Altuve, just like Trout, he's already hitting 285. He's got 26 home runs, 61 RBIs. So he's obviously had a great season for the Yankees. Big part of the reason why they're good. But again, it's just, to me, it's a pipe dream. But it's always fun to say Aaron Judge's name. He came in second last year. So if he does come back before September, no reason why you can't say Aaron Judge.
He's got to be in there with Stanton, similar.
I think Stanton has a better chance to get the MVP than Judge.
Me too. I
really do.
Because I think he's gonna pull away the run he's on right now.
Yeah, Judge, unless Stanton somehow misses time with this hamstring injury going on, but hopefully not, because then that team is gonna be hurting. They're gonna be hurting. But talk about a non-position player. Let's see what John Goombas got to offer.
You gotta bring it up. You gotta. I'm not saying I agree.
No, I don't.
I'm not saying I agree, but I gotta bring it up.
No, I don't. No, you don't.
Chris Sale.
No, you don't.
You gotta bring up the one pitcher that could swoop in and steal the hitter award.
Again, just like I've been saying for this whole time now, I'm not discrediting none of these seasons. All these guys are terrific Major League Baseball players. Chris Sale is fantastic. Fantastic. The if there was a wild card game between the Yankees and Red Sox and Chris Sale's throwing, I would literally not even put on the TV because I know it's a loss. I know it's a loss.
You're not going to touch him.
I know it's a loss. I mean, he's fantastic.
Filthy, yeah.
But I'm a very opinionated person, and I'm stubborn, and I don't believe a pitcher should win an MVP award.
I agree with you.
I just don't. Everybody.
This is for argument's sake.
I don't get mad at everybody can get mad.
It's
at me.
also not fun.
Everybody, right?
It's not fun.
Everybody can get mad at me all you want. That's just my opinion. I'm not swaying from it. I just don't believe a pitcher should win an MVP award. They are a Cy Young winner.
That's their award.
That's their award. It's a Cy Young winner. And again, you want to talk about MVP, most valuable player, not most valuable position player. Sure, I understand that. But in my eyes, in my baseball life, I just feel like starting pitchers or a reliever, for Mariano Rivera, say, I just don't think they should win an MVP award. But John Goombas wants to talk about Chris Sale, so I guess we're going to talk about Chris Sale.
We are. A couple minutes. Chris Sale this year, 11-4, what a 2.04 ERA. He's already got 207 Ks and a .872 WHIP. He leads the AL in ERA, WHIP, and Ks. So you have to think, if Chris Sale can end the season with an ERA below 2 and creep up near 300 Ks, it's very possible.
Okay, so
by the way, career, he's a 2.89 ERA. He's never won a Cy Young. He won second last year, but I'm actually very surprised Chris Sale's never won a Cy Young. But go ahead. What are you going to say? I'm
going to say that what did you just say? If his ERA is under 2, right, he should win.
I'm saying like his ERA now is 2.04. I'm just saying he's so close to having like one of those crazy Jake Arrieta
under
2. That why wouldn't he be considered? Like DeGrom's.
I'm going to say DeGrom.
Good, give it to DeGrom. I'll take it.
Nobody's saying about the NL MVP for DeGrom. Everyone's give him the Cy Young. He should be given the Cy Young. He should be given the Cy Young. How come no one started him MVP? Because right now,
starting
pitchers should not get MVP
Chris Sale
awards.
Looks like,
that's why.
No, Chris Sale looks like he has the Cy Young. Looks like he has it. I know Snell's there, but It looks like
But
looks
he's
like
having
exactly.
great
It looks
years,
like Chris
buddy.
Sale has it. The National League, there's a true Cy Young race between DeGrom and Scherzer. There's a true race between the two of them. So I think more people are looking at that versus Sale kind of has this wrapped up. But I gotta bring up.
But the voting is going to be honestly, DeGrom is having a heck of a season. I mean, it's unbelievable, and people are gonna look for the team. And Nationals, the Nationals are better. Nationals are not having the season.
Scherzer's going to get 20 wins, and DeGrom's going to get 8, and it's going to look dumb.
Yeah, no one's. I'm not saying he shouldn't win the award, but people are going to look at the overall team, and the Nationals are better than the Mets, and that's going to sway voters towards Scherzer, and that's the whole thing with Trout this season, and again with Betts and Martinez. The team plays a part.
But I got
part of the picture.
I got to bring up 2011 when Verlander won both the Cy Young and the MVP.
That's not fun. That's not fun.
Because Chris Sale's having a better year than that, besides wins. I don't know how Chris Sale only has 11 wins with the Red Sox, but that's beside the point. Verlander in 2011.
It's terrible.
Verlander in 2011 went 24-5, which is crazy. His ERA was a 2.4. He had 250 Ks and his WHIP was a .92.
Yeah,
that's a good year.
It's not an MVP season.
He just got a lot of wins. What you're telling me is he had a typical good year, and he had 24 wins. Yeah. You looked at his record saying 24-5 MVP. So I went to see what hitters couldn't win the award. That this was such a great pitching year, deserved MVP. In second place was Ellsbury.
Oh God!
So, hold on.
Oh my!
Hold on.
Wait, I know he had a great year, but I'm just saying. You think about this in second place.
You think about it now.
Yeah, of course. But just want to see what you just said.
He was a Red Sox.
In second place was Jacoby Ellsbury. Okay, let's move on.
So before I looked to see what standing they came in, I actually thought it should have been Ellsbury, Cabrera, and Bautista, and there was that. Cabrera actually came in 5th, which I was surprised, but Bautista came in 3rd. But anyway, second was Ellsbury. He had 212 hits, hit 321, 32 home runs, 105 RBIs, and 39 stolen bases. What is wrong with that?
No.
That he doesn't deserve to get the MVP award. Now, I thought Miguel Cabrera definitely had it. Cabrera hit 344.
See,
his
there
teammate,
you go, the average,
his
344.
teammate, 344, but 30 home runs and 105 RBIs. He got you 30 home runs and he got you your 100 RBIs while still hitting 344. He hit all the points. And Bautista, met great. Hit 302, 43 home runs, 103 ribs. You tell me none of these guys were good enough? Because Verlander got 24 wins. I'm saying it's possible. Sale, you never know.
But these guys, I understand it. But
if Sale creeps to like 8,
Cy Young winners,
it goes 18-5 with a 1-8. Yeah, I'm just saying it's possible.
I don't like this whole.
I don't like it.
I don't like the pitching win MVP. I don't like it. I'm
Me
sorry.
either. But you gotta bring it up. You gotta bring it up.
I guess you got.
And I brought it up.
I brought up Aaron Judge.
That's all I gotta say about that.
Giancarlo Stanton. I ain't gonna say. What are you gonna do? But hey, those are the contenders.
I think JD's both of our guys. To be honest with you.
Again, everyone wants to say obvious that it's Trout. That it's Betts.
If he gets the triple crown, I think it's no question. I wouldn't even vote for anybody else.
No, JD Martinez. If he keeps up this pace, there's a little over a month.
Crown.
A little over a month left. About a month and a half left of the season. If he keeps up his pace. I think the obvious candidate is Mr. JD Martinez, who is earning every penny of his offseason contract.
Yeah. And he wanted more. And he deserved more, apparently.
And he pretty much is having the best season of his career.
Yeah.
On the way to possibly a great dream season for the Red Sox.
Yeah.
So those are the guys. Those are the hot guys. We're interested to see if anybody else has any other candidates.
We miss anybody? Who we miss?
You can throw it on the YouTube, our YouTube channel, in our comments section. Throw it in there. We'll discuss there if anybody has anything else. But other than that, that's it. That's all, folks. Thanks for listening to our fun MVP discussion episode. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, our iTunes, our SoundCloud. And please be sure to give the Goombas a follow on our Twitter @WeAreTheGoombas. And the Goombas are gone.
Hey.
Salud.
Arrivederci.